What's up, everybody? We are back. John Delarose here, delarose.com. If you enjoy fun superhero comics, you should go over to my website, sign up for my newsletter, and get a full graphic novel, and for free. That's it. So you just got to sign up. I give you a graphic novel for free, and you guys get to have fun with that. So check it out. You might not expect me to be reading this one. It's like this is kind of out of the blue. Legion Lost, Volume 1. But what happened is I found out that Tom DeFalco, who is my favorite writer of all time, did a stint at DC kind of in the mid-2010s. We're in 2020 now, so that's the last decade. And he did Legion Lost for a few issues and also did Superboy. So I picked up those graphic novels because I love Tom DeFalco, and I want to check things out. Now, Fabian Nicieza, I hope I pronounced that right, did the beginning of this book, and he's a solid writer too. So we'll get into this. Basically, there's this group of Legionnaires, and I guess this is the New 52 beginning of the Legion of Superheroes redone, I guess. And they're going back to present time because there's like this virus that's coming out. And the virus is a thing that's very funny in 2020. But the virus is a thing that actually gives people superpowers and makes them kind of crazy with their superpowers. So they're trying to stop the spread of this and stop a guy who's coming back in time with it also. So these are all the characters. I'm not familiar with most of them. This is a really bad issue number 1. The storyline's good, and I'll get to that in a second. But they're really dropped back in time. I don't know who these characters are. They're not introduced very well. Some of the characters, like you get their names later. And if you're not already familiar with the Legion, this doesn't start over the New 52 and actually give any like fresh start for readers to really pick up on. It's very bizarre. So you get a gal with angel wings. I don't even remember their names. There's too many superhero names anyways these days. You get a couple other people. I think she's a shape changer, as I recall. This guy's got telepathy and he looks like a funky monster. And they're just after these guys. This one bad guy. Now the bad guy they're trying to get him to contain his power, because if he lets it loose, he's going to just completely lose his humanity. And he's like, screw it, I'm going to do it anyway. And they chase after him for another issue here. Dawnstar is the angel-y gal. And so she, the art's really good. It's really enjoyable. Tyrock is this guy. Here we go. We're getting names now. And then there's a few other characters who I just don't remember. Tellus is a character, I guess. And I don't know who any of these characters are. I mean, I'm a little familiar with Legion of Superheroes, but I know, like, Karate Kid and Brainiac and characters like that. These were not that familiar to me. So, they're interesting little super team as they go through and hunt down these characters. You get a little background of the DC Universe once you get into here. Once you settle into a couple issues, it reads a little better, like, because it was a little confusing at first. But they're still after this guy, and there's more of this virus superhuman thing spreading, and they're trying to figure that out there. And you see we've got another character having struggles here. So, Wolf Boy, is that his name? I don't know, something like that. And then she's like a shape changer who's like caught in this struggle right here because she's missing some of her biomass because there's some evil creature inhabiting her, which I believe has to do with the virus thing. It's solid. It's pretty fast-paced. It is modern art style, so it's interesting here. And it really picks up towards the end here as the characters start to fight this bad guy once more, and it looks like they finally take him down. It's a pretty nice splash page of energy, and it takes a drastic change again in a second here. So Martian Manhunter shows up to help them right here. And we're about to get the Falcon stuff. So they break into this facility, take things down. It's a knockdown, drag-out fight, and they save their friend who gets her biomass back, basically, at the end of this. Now, at this point, they are like, okay, so we solved this one guy's crisis, so how do we get home? What do we do? And they don't know. So they move to New York, and I believe that starts with the next issue after this in volume 2, but maybe it starts here. This is where DeFalco starts, and the tone of everything changes. The storytelling is a lot cleaner and a lot more personal. There's a girl who is asking for help. She's being tortured, and she comes out with this like psychic message to the Legion, who then try to find her. I guess they do move to New York here, and they use their psychic abilities to like get free hotels, basically, which they feel bad about. But you really start to get a sense of who the characters are in this. Like, Tom DeFalco really dials it back. He's like, wait a minute, we need to introduce these characters a little better and get to know them a little better. And you learn that here. And there's a twist. So she was asking for help, and they find it. And it turns out she was getting tortured, quote, but she's just getting injections in a hospital, and she's just dying. And so they found her. They can't do much because she's, she's on her last legs. But they settle her down psychically, and she's happy as she transitions to the next world. And that is the end of the story. So a very nice, deep, personal story to contrast with this like knockdown, drag-out fight with this like guy who's got an energy being who I really don't even know who he is. So it picks up here. I'm interested. Tom DeFalco writes it from this point forward. It was worth reading. Probably a 7 out of 10. Not my favorite stuff, but that last issue by DeFalco made it all worthwhile. And we'll continue on to the next volume. And I think that's the only volume. I think they got canceled after that. It's weird. DC always tries to make these new characters or new teams or whatever, and they never stick with it. And that's part of the problem of modern comics, is that they just never stick with their new ideas. They don't allow it to flourish. You get like 2 or 3 trade paperbacks and it's gone. And then they move on to their next new initiative or whatever it is. And it makes it hard to care about the new characters. You know that they're going to be gone. You know that it's going to get canceled. So it's like, what's the point? Oh, well. At least you get to enjoy some DeFalco writing in this. Hit that like and subscribe button, and we will see you soon.